words unclog your crock.
Okay. All right. It's part spoon and part spatula.
You don't need 10 things in your crock. You only need a Spurtle. And if
Unclog the crock. All right.
And if you have a slotted Spurtle, then you have like a whisk and a spoon in one. David, okay, I have to get through this thing. All right, so you basically have one tool that does 5 things. And the beauty is, it gets right deep down into the corners. No spoon does that. It doesn't get the sides and the corners. And the other thing is, you're not ruining your nonstick. This is not okay, okay? And then you get this and it actually melts. And this, like I said, is doing nothing for you.
Oh my goodness, it's crazy.
So we have this, which I have just actually done, like whisked my eggs, right?
Okay.
And then I can go right over and cook my eggs. And of course, I scooped this. You didn't see what I was doing when you were busy being tongue-tied.
With the spaghetti squash.
Yes, which means that this little baby, you didn't talk about the baby. You love the little slurtle.
Well, you know what? You get the big slurtle, you get the little slurtle, and you get the slurtle rest. All right, so here's what you're getting.
It's the funnest tool in the kitchen, David.
Well, it's certainly fun to say. I'll say that. All right, now here's the story. You're going to get the Spurtle rest, you get the little Spurtle, and you get the big Spurtle. And all of these will fit right down in the rest. It's all made of bamboo. It's easy to clean in the sink with warm soapy water. I keep these in the crock by my stove all the time when I'm cooking. I'm scrambling up some quick eggs, I'll grab this because it whisks air into what I'm doing. If I want to use it to actually strain water or rendered fat off of some ground beef, you can do that too.
That's what's amazing, and that's what I love on QVC.com. People are telling me so many different uses that they're discovering once they get this.
Exactly.
Now, I have to tell you, this little thing, I didn't invent it. I wish I did. The Scots did 500 years ago. Why? To stir their oatmeal, and we all have oatmeal every single day. So I always like to give a shout out to its original use, which was stirring the oatmeal. But come on, from oatmeal, you go to potatoes, right? And with the slotted one, you can actually, if you have a few chunks in there, sometimes I mash with this because I like mine chunky.
Yeah.
So I'll cook them, and then I'll mash, and then you just put in your chive, and you know what you love. I can't let you touch this because I'm afraid that you're going to just put in way too much. Anyway.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time. Yeah.
Then you can see you've got so much surface area that stirs. So in all seriousness, you're actually maximizing every single action you're doing.
Hey, can I just ask everyone in our studio audience, is there anything better than buttery, creamy mashed potatoes? Come on.
Oh, I know what could be a little better.
Woo! Doggies, that's good.
The other day I was making pudding.
Yeah.
And then I was making caramel, and I realized, you know, when you're making pudding or caramel, you're like, should I use a spoon or should I use a whisk? Because you don't necessarily want that whisk. This is the thing for that. Pudding, caramel, creme anglaise, anything. And now's the time of year that you're making a cake, you need to make a frosting. So think about that. Think about that. Now
it's just perfect. Eggs, by the same token, these are, well, this is now an omelet.
This is now an omelet, because you're having so much fun that I'm laughing too hard and I'm not cooking. But you can see I got right in there, and I didn't in any single way hurt my beautiful pan.
Now, I will
do a
tell
little
you,
flip of the wrist here and get my omelet done.
Couple important pieces of information. Number one, this is the last day at this price. What does that mean? That means at the end of the day today, this price of $19.98 goes away, and this jumps back up to $22 forever and ever after. So today will be the last day you'll get it at $19.98. If you use your credit card, it will arrive in time for Christmas.
How often do you brown meat? And you've got to press down that meat while it's cooking to get the chunks off. So you can do the pressing, and then you can also do the draining, all with one tool, which is what I love. Now, I'm Italian, so I'm cooking pasta 4 or 5 nights a week. I reach inside, it's hot, you're jumping, you got to see if it's done. You can pull yours right out, and then it can sit there, and it can just cool a little bit. Oh yeah, it's done. Okay, let's take it off.
Right. Perfect.
So that's a problem we always have.
Now, lots of folks are picking up more than one of these tonight, and that makes perfect sense because you will receive again the little Spurtle, the large Spurtle, and the Spurtle rest. You get all 3 of these pieces for that price. That price,
David,
right there.
all your foodie friends who have foodie friends and you don't know what to get them because they have everything. They don't have this. I guarantee you. Unless they stole it from my kitchen, they don't have it. So here's another one. I love this. Scrape, right? So we're scraping. And then same tool, we're scooping, right? Same tool, we're stirring. I mean, this is what I mean about unclog your crock. You don't need all those things in there.
You know what? And many of them you don't ever really use.
And
if you had one tool that you would use all the time, you would reach for it and you would enjoy it. This is the one that will kind of get rid of the clutter.
I'm not finished. I have one more thing.
What you got?
Scoop, spread. So I scooped, I stirred, I scraped, and now I'm spreading for a ham sandwich.
Oh, nice.
And you
ham
know
salad.
how many peanut butter sandwiches that I've made.
Well, yes, I know, because you got some hungry fellas at home you've been cooking for all these years.
Exactly.
But you know what? There are so many people out there that are scratching their head wondering what to get the cook on their gift list. They want to find something special and unique and interesting.
Absolutely.
This is that piece that is so wonderful. Don't miss out on this.
It's so
It's
simple.
the last day at this price.
It's so simple. That's what somebody said on QVC.com. How could something so simple be so spectacular? And we were talking about spreading where you don't want to crush something. It's such a great thing you can incorporate, but here we're getting everything incorporated without actually crushing these berries. So again, and I would love to hear from people and have them tell us what they did. Now, you know I work in a test kitchen every day where I'm cooking all the time and baking.
Of course.
And I had to separate a bunch of eggs one day and I was just in a hurry, and then I thought, oh, let's see if this works. And I put one in here, and then I did like the next one, and then I was like, okay.
Look at that.
New idea.
The perfect way to separate egg whites.
And if you were gonna do it with the little spurt, you know sometimes when you're baking, so like I'll do that, when I'm in a hurry, I'll go like this. And then I'll take this baby and put it back, and then because it's a whisk, I can make my egg wash from my pie top.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
Now, $1,700 of these are gone, $19.98. Whether you are trying to fish something out of the pickle jar or the pepperoncinis,
Well,
and they're all packed in liquid, this allows you to strain it and pull out what you need.
And in New York City, I don't have the privilege of space, unfortunately. So I need to
Yes.
have a tiny little one. But at the big box stores where you buy these big containers, you can just get, like in one fell swoop, you get the liquid separated, take it out, and you could put it into a smaller container for your fridge.
Great, yes.
Or, same thing with little spurt, let's not forget little slurt, rather. You can just pull a few right out, and you've got, you know, the liquid's gone right away. So the point is here, David, that you can't stop inventing things to do with this. Now,
so what do you say we do a little folding? Now, if you're going to fold one item into another, you're not necessarily stirring as much as you are scooping. I like to cut it right down the middle if I'm going to fold this whipped topping into the chocolate mousse, and then just turn it on top of itself. Keep going in the middle, turning it over, and once you've incorporated it, give it a gentle stir, and you begin to get that perfect fold without mashing or crushing what you've got inside. Say we had some fruit in here or some cookie pieces or cake or whatever.
But it's a perfect
Just super
folding
easy.
tool.
Then give this a little swirl, and that starts to be perfect and delicious. Real quickly, Miss Lucinda, two questions for you. First, what is your favorite holiday family tradition?
Oh, funny you should mention that, because I don't even have to think. It's the mini meatball sandwiches my grandmother made. We make tons of them for Christmas Eve. And I put the recipe up on the Mad Hungry Facebook page in case anybody wants it. We make bags of them and freeze them.
It sounds delightful.
Naturally, it's a food tradition.
Oh, yummy. I love that. I love food traditions. All right, and you have a trivia question tonight, my darling.
Dear.
Now, we're using cherries in my cherry almond rugula tonight. So what state is the leading producer of tart cherries? Is it Oregon, Washington, Illinois, or Michigan?
It's either Michigan or Washington because they both have cherries. So tart, I'm going to go Michigan.
Michigan is correct. According to the Agricultural Marketing Resource Center, Michigan produces more than 90% of the nation's tart or sour cherries. Washington, you were correct. California and Oregon produce the nation's crop of sweet cherries.
Shout out to Michigan because I'm from Canada, right across the lake from there.
We love you, Lucinda's